Here I am.
Here he is. This is the new Nerdicide where I just play songs. Watch these songs being played. Are you mentally prepared for my face?
All right. I think I'm ready. Dude, that is amazing. I love it.
Let me fix this camera. All right.
Man, you should have been doing that shit a long time ago, dude. I love it. Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Basically, what happened was like, last week into this week. Thank you, sir. I hadn't been really shaving, and it got real gross. It was just because I can't grow a full beard, so I was like, okay, well, this will be the time that I actually do the mustache. And I've actually had the mustache all week. I shaved the rest of it off because it was driving me crazy. I think like Sunday night. So, but it's like I go places and no one knows because I'm wearing a fucking mask anyways. So the only people who really have seen it is like with Zena, and that's pretty much it. And
well, James is enjoying. Hello, James. So James is enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts. Feels like there's glue on my lip.
That's weird.
Just like I want to just get it off.
Well, I almost shaved into just a mustache out of solidarity, so you didn't feel so awkward. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But I still might because I just noticed tonight that this portion of my beard has like these wiry white hairs in it that want to be fucking crazy, and this side doesn't. So like this is all like so you're gonna watch me do this a lot tonight because it's bothering me.
I have big I feel like I have big the dude from the Wolf of Snow Hollow energy with this mustache. I have big,
there you go.
I have big small town cop energy with this mustache. But yeah, tomorrow
small town cop.
Tomorrow it's gone and no more mustache.
Dude, fucking hang on to that. Let it go.
Let it marinate.
Yeah.
No, I hate it.
Let it be a thing.
I mean, it could happen again. If I ever grow my facial hair out as long as it was before, I could do it again.
If I had any suggestions on how to treat that mustache, is to take that top corner off and have it come down to like a point.
It's gonna go, so I'm not really trying to like
just play with it. Just kind of do weird shit with it and figure it out. Because you already got me beat on like the middle. Like you got shit that
I got a solid Hitler.
That bridges the gap. Mine does not.
Hitler. Yeah.
Mine refuses to grow in the middle for some reason.
Well, I don't grow facial hair here at all. So
hello, wife.
There's nothing here, so I couldn't like have it come down, anything ridiculous like that. But
well, for the longest time, I had that where it was like on either side of my mustache, so it was like this area right here. Because I used to rock just like fucking sideburns. Like I never had anything in the middle. I just had like big fucking sideburns. And then when I first actually like grew a beard, there were like these lines that it stopped at on either side of my mustache, and I felt very Joe Dirt, where it was like, oh, it grows in all like trashy like that on its own.
Yeah, when I first did it, it was still a little shorter, so it was bigger, even bigger pedo energy than it has right now. because I mean, a
All
lot
right,
of
if you're gonna get rid of it, do me one favor.
you want the Hitler mustache, is what you're saying.
No, I want pencil. I want pencil line
So
mustache picture. That's what I want to see. I want to see John Waters' fucking pencil line mustache before it's completely gone.
anyways, welcome to Mustache Hour, Mustache Talk. We had
This is where we talk about mustaches and beards and.
We had like 6 people on there, all like, goodbye. This is not about toys. This is a mustache talk.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
favorite toy with a mustache? Go.
Anybody who comes on in the next hour or two is going to be bored anyways, because we're just going to talk about not fun things. I mean, I have some stuff to show off, and we can shoot the shit. Oh, I don't know if you want to just like do a little Wandavision warm up. Watched it last night.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty good horror movie vibes, and that they're continuing for sure. I was very like that fucking 90s kids
Malcolm
commercial.
in the Middle.
Holy fuck, that was.
Oh my god, that fucking commercial was ridiculous, dude.
That was so dark. I could not believe it because I was like, "Oh, what is the joke here?" And then the kid just rots into a skeleton and dies, and that's it. I was like, "Holy fuck!"
Like they keep doing like the close up on the hand that's just struggling to try and get that shit open. That was unnerving.
Yeah, that's a new one. And I after the episode was over, I told Rosina, I was like, this show might get some Emmy nominations. If they don't completely like blacklist it from that kind of stuff, because it's it's Marvel Studios and it's not artsy, but like the themes and the costume design and all of this stuff, the production design of doing all of the different decades and stuff, also like sitcom sets and all of that shit, like you can tell me they're not going to get Emmy noms, at least for the production design and costuming and makeup and stuff. They have There's no show that can compete with that show has like a $200 million budget or something. You can't compete with that. It's basically like
not only that, but you're going from that aesthetic to the like real world or like that movie quality fucking real world aspect of it. So it's like you're inside the show. Now you're, out here with the agents. Like that whole dynamic just plays so fucking well, and they're killing it. They're fucking killing it.
Right.
And my buddy Dustin was like, they definitely need to do like a fucking animated episode. Like
yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done anything like that. Like I said,
well, they got real close with like that beginning, the opening of the one episode where they did like the, what would that be? Almost I Dream of Jeannie style,
right? Yeah,
cartoony opening. But yeah, they definitely need to do like an entire animated episode, especially after that fucking commercial. That shit was so incredible.
Yeah, with this episode, I feel like they really putting off the vibes that while she definitely went full like House of M, spreading her reality box out, she's definitely not in full control of that universe. And people have a lot of theories about Mephisto and stuff, and I'm hoping it's like, to me, it would make more sense if it was Dormammu, since she's gonna be in the next.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I never even thought of that. Shit.
Yeah, like why can't it be Dormammu, since like they're doing Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange, and she's supposed to be a part of that. So like, if you're gonna, Marvel is like their cereal, so it's like people are really wanting Mephisto, and I'm like, well, that would be cool, a new villain. But like, if you really want to build up the anticipation for Doctor Strange 2 and multiverses and all that shit, I think Dormammu would be a nice curveball in that.
That, and they're already bringing in shit with fucking Ant-Man, the kid from Lovecraft
Kang.
Country. Yeah, so they're already bringing in Kang the Conqueror, and that's going to be fucking gigantic. That's going to be a giant fucking storyline too. Mephisto doesn't. It's too early for that shit. I agree. So it would be cool to bring back Dormammu because they didn't do a whole lot with Dormammu.
No, they didn't.
He was just a giant face, and
yeah,
I was actually kind of let down by that. I love Dormammu.
I hope they bring him down to like a singular, like just like what actual physical, like tangible person, and maybe they will because like Doctor Strange probably had budget constraints, and they spent so much money on those those visual effects of like all of the city and shit.
Right.
But and then like you've got the stuff with Quicksilver and like everybody was like horned up about X-Men for a minute, but it's clearly that's not it.
Yeah.
Not a multiverse crossover. She didn't pull him from the Fox X-Men or anything. The way he talks to her, he talks to her, he knows everything she's doing, he knows everything is going on. He's completely not in her control, which means to me, whoever's doing it, he's an extension of whoever's either feeding off of her powers or giving her the extra energy to pull this off. He's an extension of that because what he said to her, I don't even remember what he said to her, like, oh, is your dead husband gonna die again? Let's die a second time. Like, what are you worried about?
Yeah, he can't die a second time, can he? Like, yeah, that shit was fucking bananas.
I don't think that should be her dead giveaway, that's not really her brother. Who would say something like that?
That, and they also did like the Age of Ultron flashback at the beginning of that episode, and then they went into him being there. So there's like that whole twist of fucking who he actually was in that universe compared to who he is now.
Right.
And I'd like to think that what is that kid's name from fucking Kick-Ass and fucking played Quicksilver in the first one?
I always forget his name, and he has the simplest fucking name.
It is a simple name. It is. Fuck, God damn it. It's going to bother me. But I would like to think that I'd like to think that they approached him about doing something as well.
I guarantee you,
I can't
either he
just
couldn't
put it
do
on.
it.
What's that?
I guarantee he either couldn't do it or didn't want to, because he is a weird dude. I don't know if you know this, but he's married to a woman who's like 30 years older than him.
Mm-hmm.
Who basically started.
I didn't know that. He is a weird dude.
Sort of.
I'd like to think that they're doing that shit on purpose. Like, that it'll be...
They also said, like, I don't know, like, because Paul Bettany in an interview said that there was, like, a big... he got to work with somebody he always wanted to work with, like a huge actor. And I don't think it was Evan Peters. So there's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be either Fassbender or Ian McKellen as Magneto. I guarantee they're going to throw that little nugget in there. Because, like, who else?
Oh, yeah.
Paul Bettany is British. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, like, if you're thinking about somebody he would always want to work with, who's, like, a big star, Fassbender's a very well-respected actor. He's never worked with him. He's never done anything with Ian McKellen either. Ian McKellen, obviously, way up here as far as, like, as an actor, you would want to work with Ian McKellen. That's a huge opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, but that's going to be really fucking confusing to me if they do that shit. If they really like, okay, well, guess what? Magneto is her dad, is her dad, even though, like, it was all fucking, they were experimenting on them with the fucking staff and shit, and whatever stone. I can't remember which stone was that.
That was
the
Mind Stone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, look at it this way. So, yes, they're descendants of a mutant, but if they were being experimented on with a Mind Stone, then it would be something that pulled it out of them and brought it to the forefront. instead of it being like everybody else. It like, especially comics wise, where it's some traumatic experience pulls it out of them, and that's where they learn their abilities or whatever. Like it was the Mind Stone that forcibly brought it out of them. So I can buy it. I can buy it. It's not like they have to be made or something.
I think it's cool that they decided to use Evan Peters. I mean, good for him getting one more fucking Quicksilver check, because, you know, that shit's supposed to be done, and he's out here, you know, getting one more chance and actually more screen time than he really got in the extra.
What's up, Beck?
What up, Beck? Speaking of creepy mustaches, here's Beck. Not as creepy as Beck, I don't think.
Yeah, Beck, what's your input on Justin's mustache? You've also rocked a creepy, weird one.
He's got even blonder hair than me, so his mustaches are extra blonde.
His is like
mine has a lot of
strawberry
blonde single polar bears.
Gross.
But like
gross.
What I wanted to say about them using the Fox stuff, I think it's fun. I think it's a nice way to. I think it's like a distract. You get like everybody like immediately, like when that episode premiered or whatever, everyone's like, oh, they're integrating X-Men are coming. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's a sleight of hand move where they're just like they just pull, like, if it's Dormammu who can move around through, if it's a character that can move around multiverses, then yes, I guess they could have taken the image of that Quicksilver. And she obviously didn't do it, so it's an outside person. But with all that being said, I want all the Fox X-Men stuff to be dead. I don't want to keep going back to it. I already know, like, we already know that, like, Deadpool is going to be very meta, and he's basically just going to show up in the MCU and be like, oh, everyone's different, this is weird, and where's Hugh Jackman and stuff. He's going to do all that stuff because that works. He doesn't really have to have, like, an explanation. He just, like, shoots through a fucking portal and boom, he's there, and he can make jokes.
Yeah.
But with everything else, I want it all left behind. I honestly don't want to see Ian McKellen. He is like 100 years old. I don't want to see Michael Fassbender as Magneto because, honestly, it irritates me. His Magneto portrayal is, while he's an amazing actor, it is very one-tone and boring. And I think Magneto is a very cool, unique villain / hero. And I think Fassbender's portrayal of him was very one note. Even me and Ian McKellen had some moments where I really bought him as the old Magneto, where he had lived this whole life, and then at the end,
well, that's the thing too, where he's actually able to play off of Patrick Stewart,
right?
And
who I also heard he said that Marvel came to him about reprising his role as Xavier, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Let it go. Just cast fucking Stanley.
I don't know, man. He is kind of the quintessential fucking.
But he's so fucking
Professor X, though.
If you're planning on doing a 10, 15 years of more X-Men stuff, he will be 90 and be dead. He'll fucking die. Is that what you want?
Yeah, but let's all grow old with Professor X.
Just give it to Stanley Tucci. He's young, but not too. He's old and young.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, Stanley fucking Tucci.
That's the first I've heard any of that, and that makes perfect
the most obvious choice. Because you can't.
I like that.
You can't use the dude from Kick-Ass because he's been in too many comic book things.
Right.
He was in Green Lantern and that and Kick-Ass.
Damn.
But like, he's a really good bald actor. But Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
He's pompous, but he comes off smart. He also can be very warm. And I think if you put him in a fucking floating yellow chair.
Stanley Tucci's been a really good dad in like a lot of different like movies.
I think he's got the range.
Yeah, I could see him as Professor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah, dude. I like that one.
He's not super fucking old. So like, I want them to just be done. The X-Men, the Fox X-Men stuff is so convoluted. and irritating. I don't want Michael Fassbender to show up and just be like doing his I'm doing magnetic things. I'm picking up a stadium for no reason.
He definitely has a way of making it look like it's the hardest thing he's ever done in his entire life. When it should just be a power where he's like, yep, I lifted that up. Fucking bringing my keys to me.
He literally does this. He's like, oh, you know what I'm going to do in this movie? I'm going to pick up a bridge for no reason. You know what I'm going to do in this movie? I'm going to pick up a stadium for no reason. Bro, you can literally do so many other cooler things that are immediate and faster and more effective. Why would you drain all
I will say the
to
coolest
pick up a
thing that they
stadium?
did do with that is when he pulled the subway car up. I thought that was kind of cool.
But also stupid. Completely
It was very
waste of
stupid,
time.
but it was
Waste of fucking time. Just float up there and fucking just immediately metal through everyone. There's metal fucking everywhere. Just fucking anything on the ground. Hubcaps, chop your heads off. It's just like so stupid.
Power lines. Just pull the power lines and make them into fucking.
The only thing cool
spikes.
about that action sequence was like they did do cool Cyclops stuff. During that action sequence when he was running.
Here we go. The
That's
only
true.
thing that made it cool was Cyclops.
I mean, in that movie, yeah. Them putting him through the fucking Blackbird to shoot was pretty cool. That was a thing I had never seen before, and I was like, oh, that's new. But the rest of the movie was just X-Men 3 all over again.
Yeah.
James says Patrick Stewart will never die. I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but he will die, and probably like
at some point. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Oh God, here we go.
I know, right?
But anyway, with WandaVision, I also saw right before I got on here that they said the last 3 episodes are gonna be an hour a piece, which is nice because they really hit you with those credits, and it's just like a gut punch every time. Who's on here? Beck? Never said anything. Nope, just James. One person. It says, oh, it's because it's Courtney. Where's the rest of the draft pod tonight? You guys, what's on the next episode of Draft Pod? Favorite toothpastes? Don't steal that idea. Favorite socks? Crew socks, ankle socks, knee highs. That's your next episode. Best socks, white socks, red socks, stockings. Somebody talk to me. I'm alone out here on an island. I'm still waiting for my invite to the Blow and Tell podcast. There's nothing a podcast about rap needs more than a third white guy's opinion on rap. Get me on that show. Did you hear what I said about the I just saw before I got on it there. Yeah, that's the good one.
That's our sponsor.
The last 3 episodes of WandaVision will be an hour apiece, which is nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
An hour apiece, and yeah, they probably are going to wrap a lot. And I wonder.
I mean, the way that they've been doing this.
Use her powers, since they basically mentioned Monica Rambeau. I wonder if she's going to use her powers, since they basically said that her cells have been changed twice. And I think the most recent, her name was Spectrum in the comics. She's got superpowers. I don't think she'll be in a costume or anything, but she might do something with her powers.
I did like, what's that dude's name? The head of, or not the head of SWORD, but like the main agent of SWORD, where he was like giving her shit about hanging out with Carol Danvers and.
Yeah.
I fucking
know. Story there, for sure. There's some
Yeah, but he
animals.
was just like, I know who you've been associated with. Like, everybody fucking knows.
I I've only because I really like that Captain Marvel is portrayed as like such a by the books dickhead character. I really think that's the kind of balance the MCU needs because their heroes are so goofy and like blah blah blah, just cracking jokes all the time. Blah, blah, blah. They're just gonna roll through the punches and play a song in the
Right?
background. And I think it's so important to have a by the books character that does not show up all the time because you need it. I really like that. I like that
Dude,
she was
I
really
just
there.
watched fucking Infinity War and Endgame yesterday.
Oh man.
And uh I think it's funny, like that whole like lead into Captain Marvel at the end of Infinity War, and then like her actually being there in Endgame. And it's like everything she does in that fucking movie is like so straightforward and like serious. Like when they go to the planet to fucking nab Thanos, and she like blasts in his fucking like little hut, and she does like the whole wrap around, and she's got his fucking head in a headlock and shit. And it's like even that, like even those little things like that, where it's just like fucking holding it down, being straightforward.
Yeah,
Uh, her
she's
interaction
a
with like
nice
Fat Thor.
she's a space cop. She's a space cop.
Yeah,
And,
she is face out.
and you shouldn't expect and people are like, oh, she's so cold and she's so flat. I was like, she was trained by
She's 100% a space cop.
she
If
was
she was
trained
a
by
man,
Nick
she would have
Fury.
your mustache.
Nick Fury is her mentor, who I don't know if you've ever seen an
Yeah,
MCU
fuck,
movie.
Jesus Christ. If you can't piece that together, what are you watching?
Like he literally did things and lied to the Avengers to do like super government cop stuff. Like that's what he was. So I'm really surprised. Which reminds me, I'm sure you did, but did you? I'm sure you saw the Falcon Winter Soldier Super Bowl trailer. Yes.
Hang on, it was breaking up there a little bit. Go ahead and say that again.
Did you see the Falcon and Winter Soldier Super Bowl trailer?
I did.
You know what's cool about that? Where they're going and one of that is Madripoor. People who don't know what Madripoor is because it's a made-up place in X-Men comics, where the Hand is and fucking Wolverine hangs out. Madripoor is like that fucking place in where Wolverine's like, I'm going to Madripoor to fight ninjas. It's just like the most cliche Wolverine shit, but like the fact that they're going there and that now that they can
It's borderline saying I'm going to Savage Land.
exactly. And the fact that these Marvel characters, these MCU characters, can now play around in these places that are full of what were Fox characters, just mwah. Like I hope they run into some fucking X-Men characters and like beat the shit out of like some X-Men villains like Silver Samurai,
Dude,
Redux.
think about how encompassing that is for a fucking audience. To where somebody who hasn't really given a shit about any of the Marvel stuff, like the Marvel U movies at all, and they're actually kind of given, like the Disney Plus shows a shot. And then they hear something like that and they're like, fuck. So then you actually deliver that. You give them that in the show, and you've invested a new person, and then there's all these things that they got to fucking backlog. So now they don't have a choice. Like fuck, now I got to go watch all these fucking Marvel movies that I didn't care about or give a shit about to kind of get, the lifespan or the just the essence of any of these fucking characters that already exist that are going into this. That's fucking amazing to me. Shit is literally the most amazing thing to me is how many years and how many variations of just comics that that people have lived through, and you've watched shit change over fucking time, and you've watched shit reach and grab back at like ancient fucking things that, you know, from the 50s and 60s and shit, and they're pulling it into now just because it fucking existed at one point in time and it's fucking right there. And then the movies are doing the exact same fucking thing because now you have fucking TV shows to fucking pull into it. You're gonna you're gonna go back fucking 20 years and grab from a fucking movie and mash this shit together. That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant to me. I love it.
It's pretty wild, and I kind of was like, I was taken aback. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I actually, the Draft Pod talked a little bit about it on their podcast with Joe Russo. Shout out Joe Russo.
That's our dude.
But like with the with that story that came out, well, he basically, like, somebody was like roasting him because they screenshot like him just like guffawing about like every Marvel movie just like blowing him away and knocking his socks off. He says the same thing every time, and I'm like, yeah, because that motherfucker's been reading comics since he was a kid. I don't, like, for sure Marvel has a very by the book formula, and the movies, I'd say 60% of them are pretty much very similar in tone and movement and not plot, but like beats. Like they have to go a certain way and they have to do a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
It has to follow a certain thing. But that's also like, that's any serial program that you watch. Like it has all has to mesh together. But like
they hit like weird notes.
People expect, I don't know what they expect of Kevin Smith. I don't think they expect of most people, even like a James Gunn. I don't know what you expect of these guys, but they grew up reading comics. Like, right. Yes, they have made pretentious films and they make things that are like outside the norm. So they get like critical praise and they build an audience. But what they love is popular culture. What they love is pop culture. What they love is comic books. What they love is superheroes. So I don't understand why you like, oh, he was so weird and stupid, like, to call him out. And he was like, and he defended himself. And I'm really surprised I didn't reply to that guy, but like thousands of people were already roasting that dude. So I was like, there's no reason he's not going to see mine. But like that shit kind of, like, I get everybody's complaint about Marvel and MCU and how it's taken over, but like at the same time, it's also really fucking amazing to watch literal comic books happen. Like WandaVision is literally like going every Wednesday to get a new comic every week because it's like short and quick and boom, stories. They make it wait a week.
So that's my thing. Because they're successful at it, people are fucking mad that they just keep fucking cranking shit out.
Well,
but not one.
Before I don't mean to cut you off, but the thing, like, I understand, like, people's arguments about the studio system is what they're really mad at. They're not mad at Marvel. They're mad at the studio system because these companies just want to make money. So what they do is they try to serialize everything, make franchises and sequels out of everything. So what is gone from film is like what happened in the 70s, where there was a boom of like auteur filmmakers and studios giving money to like young directors to make very artistic and nuanced, important films. They don't do that now because they just like build us a universe. Like, and I get it because that's money, but I wish they would take some of the money and go, okay, also we're gonna make like this movie about a drug dealer or whatever the fuck that's very small and could blow up. That I get why people are annoyed by franchises, but why can't we have both? Like I want both. I want to watch a $1 million fucking movie, and I want to watch a $1 million movie.
How can you go from consecutively reading the same book of the same characters and then be so pissed off that they're doing a continuation or you know, 3 to 5 fucking movies of the same fucking characters. Like, how do you get mad about that? They're giving you a visual version of a fucking comic book that's way more fucking, you know, like you're getting like way more thrown at you with the visual than you are just like reading the fucking comic book.
Yeah,
Like,
and
anybody being mad about this, that shit fucking blows my mind. Like, I want so many more fucking movies because I enjoy the shit out of them.
right.
That it, like it'll never stop me from reading a fucking comic book. No matter how many movies they make, it'll never stop me from reading a fucking comic book.
Yeah.
And no matter how many fucking comic books there are, that'll never stop me from caring about a fucking movie. Like, the two exist in like these very separate worlds for me. Like, I like being able to build shit in my brain by reading, and then I also like sitting on the fucking couch and having shit thrown at me where I don't have to think about anything, and I'm just watching fucking shit blow up, and, you know, strong people get punched in the face for people.
I'm gonna say something wild. Are you ready?
Double dog dare ya.
I wish that Infinity War and Endgame were Disney Plus shows.
That's not that wild. That's not that wild. That makes sense.
I'm a person that goes to the comic book store every week. Every Wednesday, I get new books. Comic books, people who don't
I will go as far as to say I think all the fucking Marvel movies should have just been fucking TV shows.
Yeah. Obviously not a possibility because no one would have greenlit the budgets, but now that you have the option, it seems like so perfect because like I said, Wednesday to Wednesday, you get books. And I don't know, people who don't read comics, I don't know if they think that they're just like a very, like, it's like an invested amount of time. A comic takes about maybe 10 minutes if you read it real slow. They're very quick. You can read them twice, and it's still, you have a lot of time. It's not like a book.
You have the rest of your day.
Comics are they're very digestible, very quick. And that's why when I'm watching WandaVision and the episode's like 30 some minutes, I'm like, that's a comic book. Because it's like bang, 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 bang. Here's what we're giving you. It's over. And I'm like, fuck, that's just like a comic book. Because I read comics weekly, and they are very much just the tip. Here's my tip of my dick back, and I'm gone. They just like, they come and they go.
And what I like about that idea too is once like a season's done, then you can just like go back and burn through it. Like, you
and
can
that
sit
is
and
what
fucking
I do.
burn through an entire run of a fucking comic series. You can go back and fucking burn through that shit.
Exactly. I do that mostly, especially with Batman comics. I wait till the entire runs of that writer are over. I just finished reading like the last 25 to 30 Batman, the Tom King run basically. And then until he was done, and then I just finished Joker War. I like some of it, but week to week stuff is usually like big events like Death Metal and like some X-Men books I read week to week. But most of I wait to read them all longer because they're just like hitting you so quick. And yeah, I have terrible memory, so sometimes it helps if I just read the entire run all at once. Because like I go the next week, I'm like, did I read this comic last week? I don't remember. I am an adult with responsibilities and other things going in my brain. But that's why I like WandaVision, and that's why I'm so stoked for Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, and I guess the Hawkeye show. I'm less excited about the Hawkeye show. I'm less excited about another person who shoots a bow and arrow well.
I'm actually excited about She-Hulk and the What If. Those are the two I'm excited about.
What If cartoon will be cool. She-Hulk.
I just like her as a character, so
I know, yeah.
It's like, just character.
I have to see what she looks like when she's She-Hulk. I need to see what she looks like. If she's not gigantic and green, with boobs, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean that definitely has to be like the forefront is that she just towers over everyone.
Yes,
She's fucking green
that like
constantly.
that
There's no.
comic.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with She-Hulk. There's not like a transitioning thing. She just fucking She-Hulk
Well, like
constantly.
I want to see, and I want to. This is what I want to see, which I probably won't get to see it, but like that thing from the comics where like She-Hulk and Thor were like hooking up and like sexing and stuff and making out. That's what I need to see. I need to see a giant bulking She-Hulk making out with Chris
Yes.
Hemsworth, because that would be very like psychologically Freudian. He had a thing for Mark Ruffalo Hulk because they're both green and gigantic, and he makes out with one. What are you doing here, bud? That's a little bit of a
Right?
Freudian slip. That's a Freudian slip.
It just
Yeah,
makes sense.
no one going to theaters, TV series, and that's true. But like I'm hoping by this summer when the vaccine's out that we can all go back to theaters, because I don't want to watch Matrix 4 at my house. I don't even want to watch Godzilla at my house. I don't want to watch Godzilla at my house. I don't.
That's what they like. I
It's it.
seriously don't care about the theater experience anymore.
What?
I really don't. I just don't. Like, I like being able to watch shit in my house.
Your house sucks. The theater has better sound. You just don't go to good theaters. You've been going to that ratty Bowling Green theater for like 20 years.
I go to Levis Commons every now and again.
You come out to California, I take you to the nice theater. I take you to a nicer one. And then
That really works with that mustache.
God, double racist. Honestly, I miss LA so much because there was the Sherman Oaks ArcLight was my theater in fucking back in LA. I miss that theater so much. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, it was 10 minutes less. It was 7 minutes from my house. Pick your own. You have to pick your seating, but it was never teenagers there. It's not like AMC or anything where it's just full of kids. Great theater. I used to watch a movie. The Joshua Strain. I have to pee so bad. So talk about things until I get back. I can't hold it.
I'm not talking about anything. I got to pee too.
Oh my god.
Oh, I beat him back. All right, so we are about 10 minutes out of this first hour being over. So we haven't even touched half of the shit that we wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ, that was bad.
I was just saying we're like 10 minutes out of this portion being over, the first hour being over. We definitely have more shit to talk about than just Marvel stuff. So
yeah, but let's kill this 10 minutes. Ow, fuck. What up, Josh?
it's more Marvel.
I don't wash my hands.
Really?
I touched my own penis. No one else touched it. Why?
You did what?
Oh,
I
wow,
always
Josh is
equate
here.
that to I always equate that to George Carlin. He had a joke about people who wash their hands after taking a piss. He's like, if I have to wash my hands after touching my own dick, I might as well just wash my dick in the sink.
Yeah. And with COVID too, like honestly, I feel like if I go into a urinal and it's just like I don't have to touch anything. If I walk in the door, if the door is open, like when I go to Target, the door is always open. That's how Target
Right.
bathrooms are. I go into Target, I am only touching my own dick. I haven't touched anything else. I'm not gonna touch the sink and turn the sink on and touch all that stuff. Yeah, I'm exposing myself more. So I just piss and walk out. I don't even wash my hands. Check this out. Gang,
Oh
Josh.
yeah.
I copped this.
Dude, those are fucking awesome.
This one I
I
think
like
is
that label.
a little harder to get than the white pony ones. Um, what a couple of the places in the Bay say they have them, and I called it Bevmo, and they didn't have it. I actually ordered this from a company called the Wine Cellar, and the shipping was a bitch. I paid more on the shipping to
I
give
want
it to
that.
me than what the actual cost of beer was, but I have 4 as of right now.
Nice.
I'll probably keep 1, and 3 will probably hit the mailbox. Who will be
All
those lucky
right.
people? Those 3 special people who get one.
Wink.
Yeah, unless I get more. Because there's a Bevmo in San Rafael that says they have them, but I called, and this old man was like, "Yeah, we got Belgian beaver." And I was like, "Yeah, but do you have the orange Deftones beer?" And it's like, "No, we don't have that." And I was like, "It's in a silver can. I just on their website. It says you have it." And he's like, "Okay, let me check." And then he's like, and I'm on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, we don't have it." I was like, "Okay, sure, you probably do."
I feel like that is
because you're an old man.
the most
Just my luck.
100% accurate fucking impersonation of the guy you talk to.
That's exactly what it was. An old man working at Bevmo.
Oh my god. We don't have it.
Too poor to retire. He was very good, bro. He was very quick. He was like, "Oh, we don't have it." I was like, "All right." I don't know what I
I
want.
don't want to talk to you.
I was like, "That's because
I just think it was like
I got all the
fucking
white
Doc Brown working at a brewery. It was like, no. Well, shit, man.
Now that I pissed, the tension
Huh?
is gone.
Oh,
Let's see.
you don't feel
All right, we got
Pen
7
up.
minutes to wrap up WandaVision and MCU stuff. I am very excited for next week.
Yeah, I'm super stoked with the direction they're going. I'm glad like the kids already have fucking powers. I think that's a thing. I really enjoyed
Yeah, but
the Malcolm in the Middle
the kids aren't real though.
fucking reference. What about the
Just like the
kids?
comics. I don't think the kids are real.
Yeah, they're not.
I think it's just like the comics where she's keeping them. If she's gonna keep them alive, she has to keep them alive with her own powers. That they're not gonna be a part of reality unless they do something interesting. But as long as no.
How could that be?
Show up.
I think that they set that precedent already that they can't be real because Vision one is a robot and two he's fucking dead.
He's super
Yeah.
dead.
So fucking they're definitely not fucking real. Their aging process also lends to that.
Yeah.
But to that, I really, really enjoy the Malcolm in the Middle fucking opening and the fact that they ran with it for like the whole thing where it was like the kids talking to the fucking camera. That is genius. I really did enjoy fucking Vision's quest to find out what the fuck was going on. And when he made it out and he just started getting ripped the fuck apart, like pulled back in, That shit was super fucking cool. And the fact that lent to the expanding of like her reach was super awesome.
Right.
And just like the silliness of the throwback to their costumes.
Also fun.
Like I thought that was really well done too. The fact that he stayed a human and painted his face red was like the most ridiculous thing to me. Like he couldn't just be like, "Hey, I'm a robot guy," and like just had been himself for Halloween.
Right.
Like he went with like the gym shorts and the red makeup. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, well, but they had
I
that
like
little throwaway line where, which was kind of revealing about how things are going for Wanda and her control over the town, which is that he's all he had in his closet. So she's very much just keeping it together, the storylines together by a thin thread, trying to keep it moving. So it'll be interesting to see who the big villain is. I think once the big villain is revealed, then everybody can stop speculating. I think that's what everyone's kind of waiting for. Like who is really behind
I'm
it.
100% with you though. Should be Dormammu.
It'd be cool. I mean, it would make sense for the next Doctor Strange movie to kind of roll into that. Like, look what he did with Wanda. It would kind of motivate her
for it to roll into the next Doctor Strange movie and still be Dormammu on like you said, like a more human level where we're looking at like a tangible character Dormammu instead of just his face, and then that shit bleed into a Mephisto fucking storyline. I'm all in.
People are still really convinced that John Krasinski, Reed Richards will show up in this show. A lot of wild shit.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's too big for this show to be a reveal. They also think that they're going to do a Riri Williams next episode. I've seen people saying that. Because I
don't read anything about this shit, so like these are things I don't know. I don't know anybody.
Yeah, like what's her face? Rambo goes. She says like, I have to go talk to a guy. She's gonna go talk to a guy, like an engineer kind of guy, like a science guy. Who is the science guy in the Marvel universe? It's Reed Richards. So like, but like at the same time, it could be Riri Williams, who is like a genius scientist who becomes like an Iron Man, who they are planning on doing a movie or show about. So, anyways, we got 2 minutes.
Or it could even be fucking Bruce Banner. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it could be Michael Douglas. It could be Hank Pym. It could be a lot of people.
Yeah, like
that's before I go, that is the one thing that this show is.
A lot of goddamn scientists in that Marvel universe.
Like, okay, so yes, a lot of the Avengers, like Steve Rogers is his old Crusto, and obviously Iron Man is dead, but the Hulk is still alive. Hawkeye is still alive. Rhodey is still alive. There's a lot of Avengers. So they're just like, what, not paying attention to this giant red fucking cube fucking city, and they literally have a base that monitors everything, and they're just like, we're just gonna let Sword handle it. I fucking doubt it.
That was 100% built by one of their own.
Like, we're gonna get cut off. We're gonna get cut off. But that's my final point on it. We'll come back. We're gonna talk about literal cancel culture and some things that are happening in the world. Important issues. That's
real dumb pieces of shit.
We'll be back. Come back. Hang out.
And we're back.
Here we're back. Whoa. Hit that fucking thing. We're back. Before we get into some hot topics, some hot popular culture topics that are happening in the news right now, I'm gonna show up.
We're gonna be mad about things.
We're gonna show off a couple things. I'm very late with this Marvel Legends pack. I finally got this Amazon.
Oh,
Pack,
nice.
which has Psylocke, Nimrod, and Phantom X. Wild late, but kind of good to get late because it was on sale finally through Amazon. It was very expensive, and they finally dropped the price. Not Legends don't get excited because like they just stay in this dumb box forever. But whatever. Couple pins I'm gonna show off. I got this dope black #1 pin, typo negative. Focus, not on my face, but it's like barbed wire. It says black #1. It's from a company called Mother Night. They actually had a typo negative pin that's long sold out that I wish I had, and I don't have. Bums me out. I got some new hot fire from Fuel Arsa, who is one of the best pin makers out there. I got the fucking Anton LaVey, the skull, super fucking dope. I don't know where to find the light here. There's a good one.
There you go.
Ooh, look at that guy. Super fucking rad. I'm
Very
stoked
cool.
on that pin. And he actually made a second, because I think he's made 3 crow pins now. This is the third one. The Eric Draven.
Oh, you got it. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got this one. What up, Amanda? Yeah, now I have all 3 of his crow pins. I got that actually today. I was super sad because I thought it was the Paul brothers, because he just did a pin with that has Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul on it, and I ordered that one.
Oh,
I thought it was that one, but that one's coming next. But still, those are great fucking pins. That dude like consistently just dropping new shit. And if you're a person who like, my favorite pins are either gold pins or silver and black pins. Those are the ones I like the most.
Did he do a Clint pin?
Yeah, that's in my Vinnie Paul order.
Nice.
I also got this. I can't remember what the company. I found this randomly on the internet, but it's like a goat Cthulhu. It's like a Black Phillip.
Oh, right on.
But has Cthulhu tentacles. I don't know why maybe if I brighten this. Let's go to full power. That help? No. It's a little
Sort of.
but it's a gold.
Put it over in the corner where you put the Anton one.
It was like over here. It's got some red.
There you go.
Too. It's got some red little.
Oh yeah.
Side.
That was a good spot for it.
I'm not the biggest fan of circle pins. Like, I'd rather it have just been the outline. I'm not a circle pin fan. Even though I have the Jason Versace pin from Jad Dovey, but that's a different story. Oh, excuse me, I'm pressing the wrong button.
I don't even have that.
Yeah.
Fucking Jason Versace one.
That one, you fucked up, because that guy has had sales so many times. There was like $4 100 times.
Dude, fucking Jad stuff is super rad. I really like that dude shit a lot.
Now I'm going to talk about something that I got that I'm not super stoked on, which I kind of mentioned in the chat. This is the NECA Creek Show figure. I'm super disappointed.
Yeah, that's poop. That's poop.
I don't understand, because when I watch Creepshow, this is not the cartoon Creepshow guy. This is just like some scary zombie thing with like a coat. It looks like something out of a Fulci movie, to be honest. It's not a bad sculpt. And it has the hair and stuff, and the ribs and shit are really cool. Very good detail. The robe is very cool. But like, it doesn't scream Creepshow to me, like, at all.
Oh.
And I was super disappointed. It comes with a little Creepshow comic though.
I don't like the the tie around it, like the
I don't understand what that is.
yeah.
I don't get it.
It's so flat. It's so flat and straight. It's dumb.
If I wouldn't have had a bunch of money on my Target account, I wouldn't have gotten it. I posted this on Nerdicide, but I want to do this real quick. This is the Blade Runner 2020.
Oh fuck yeah!
So Rucking Fountain has the fucking arm shit. Super cool.
Beautiful.
Still, literally, I still waiting on the return stuff. I actually emailed, last time I emailed that Sean dude from Rucking Fountain was on the 28th, and he still said that they were waiting for the all over prints to finish. So I don't know when that's going to show up. Still, the label's still in Toledo, Ohio. Maybe you can find them and knock on the door. Last but not least, I got a new DC McFarlane. This is the Drowned, aka Batman Earth 11, which is basically like a Lady Aquaman Batman. There we go.
Nice.
I'm glad I didn't pre-order this and have to pay shipping, because I just walked into Target the other day and there it was. Bank, not even hard. But I wasn't gonna get it, but I saw it and I was like, I have a lot of I only have a couple of girls in my McFarlane collection, so, and technically it is a Batman. And I'm trying to just limit it to just Batman character. Batman. Starting to sound weird when I say it. Batman.
Bat people.
Too much. Batman. Batman figures. So it's a Batwoman figure, but you get the idea. All right. You're still with us after all that rambling. We're now going to talk about some fun stuff. I don't know if we should start with Mando. First, let's start with the easy. I feel like the shortest one. There's not really too much to get into. They're all all of these things are kind of tied together, which is like what's going on in cancel culture, and who is it affecting right now? And these are like, it was like back. I feel like it's just been hitting, bam, 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 with people that I really enjoy.
Well, let's also say this. It's like we do a thing on here called cancel culture, and our version of cancel culture is kind of in the vein of just being a joke, where we pick a thing out of 4 things and we make it not exist anymore. This is like the real cancel culture horseshit that fucking exists, where it's, somebody has an actual agenda to make shit not literally exist anymore. And I don't know, man. Like,
I think it's crazy right now because literally right before I got on, I was on Twitter, which I'm always on Twitter, and someone posted an old interview with Dave Letterman and Lindsay Lohan. And this also ties into the Britney Spears doc that came out, which is wild if you watch that little Britney Spears thing. The way that they used to talk to women in interviews about their personal lives and stuff, just super fucked up, invasive, mean, cruel. And same with the Lohan thing with David Letterman was a lot more playful, but yeah, he was asking her questions he should not be asking her about her rehab and stuff. But does this mean we should go back and cancel Dave? No.
Right.
There are definitely people who deserve punishment for their crimes. One is like Marilyn Manson, which is like one of the first 3 that I want to get into tonight. Dave Letterman is an entertaining comedian. Comedians make fun of reality, realistic situations. He'd be the first person at the end of every interview to be like, "I'm just joking," and he's a very warm person. Whether or not he's making jokes about you in his monologue or some shit, whether you agree with it or not, they're just jokes. Jokes are jokes. You should not get canceled for them. I'm sorry. But we have someone like, and I was really bothered that people were trying to throw back, and then other people were tagging like his interview with Janet Jackson, all this stuff, and I was like, this was, and I'm not saying David Letterman is a victim or anything, but this was what was acceptable at this time. And now it is not acceptable. And we've learned that that is wrong. So shouldn't we just go, okay, now we're not going to do this because it's fucked up.
See, that's what bothers me the most is that there's no cutoff point to some of these where it's just,
they're literally trying to
I can go
John
back
Wayne,
in
who was
time.
an old dead racist. I was like, yeah. He said racist things. He's also dead. What are you going to do? What do you want to do about it?
He also played fucking Genghis Khan in a fucking movie. Like,
classic. My favorite movie. Genghis Khan.
That's
where my screen name came from.
There you go. But that's the thing. It's like you go and you look at those things. They're not. I can't say that they're not hurting anyone, but they weren't.
I don't think that they're hurting anyone now.
That's what I'm after.
I think at the time that these things were.
If you're gonna go that far back in time and you're gonna look at something and you're gonna be like, that hurts my feelings. Cool, it hurts your feelings. Like I will acknowledge the fact that it hurts your fucking feelings. Well, you can't make it not exist. It's still a fucking thing. And
I just don't
the
think
only people you should ever be mad at are the people who are championing those things. Yeah. And trying to make it like follow us into the fucking future. If we've all decided to leave it in the fucking past, like John Wayne's fucking Genghis Khan fucking portrayal.
Exactly.
We've all left that in the fucking past. That's has not come into the fucking future. That's not the end all be all of that. Go fuck yourself.
It's just
straight up go fuck yourself.
Like Dave Letterman, even in the because it was the Lindsay Lohan thing, and they were going back and forth, and he made jokes about himself being an alcoholic, blacking out, not remembering things, because he's a known alcoholic, struggled with addiction. She was talking to her about her addictions. Should he have been interviewing her that way, making jokes? No. But also at the same time, he was being deprecating, in which they leave that part out. And you don't think that he's learned since then? Yeah, he's an old man at that time, but he's an older man now. And he's also a person who's very open-minded. And I think the people who are open-minded, just like how we grew up in a certain generation and time period, we did and said things that we would never say now. And we didn't just stop doing it because, we're not supposed to. Shh, don't say that anymore. We do it because we understand and we have empathy for these people. And we go, okay, that's fucked up. We should have not been saying that. But you can't go back in my past and be like, you called things gay when you were in high school. You're a piece of shit. I'm like, okay, well, I was in high school. And maybe later on in college, I said that kind of stuff too. But like, I'm a product of my environment. And if I had no one going,
I think it's now, like, you know how many gay people. My thing is, like, you know how many gay people I knew in fucking high school? Fucking zero.
Just Beck. That's a joke.
Was I around them? Probably.
I had two.
Were they comfortable fucking? But I'm saying, like, were they comfortable fucking outing themselves?
They were not out.
No. In retrospect, and knowing those that have come out over the years, I'm super sorry. Like, I feel terrible about being a piece of shit in fucking high school. But I'm not gonna fucking, like, I can't go back and just not be a person. Like, I can't just fucking... What I can do is what I have done is turn that mindset off and learn.
Yeah.
You give me answers to the things that you're questioning that I'm fucking doing, and then I'm gonna be somebody else.
I think that's
be a fucking grown up now.
I think there's like, and that's because I think that's like when people are like when they broad stroke paintbrush things as cancel culture. there is the cancel culture, which I find very irritating, where it's basically like, oh, we're going to ruin your career because you said something, and we're not going to allow you to learn from your mistakes or grow. Now, when you have something like Marilyn Manson, and I have a lot to say about Manson.
Of course you do.
I'm a Manson music fan. I've never been a fan of him as a person. I always thought he was obviously smart, and most predators are smart. There's very rarely dumb predators. You can't, just like Michael Jackson was like the world's greatest pedophile. You can't be dumb and also like a super predator.
Right.
You're in trouble. So like Manson, I totally believe that he did everything that they're saying, and I don't excuse it, and I will never excuse it. And like a lot of people, like if you read comments, you're like, "Oh, what did you expect when he looks like that and sings songs about it?" And I was like, "Hey, motherfucker, shock rock is not real. Shock rock and metal is theatrical. There are people who burn churches, and then there are people who sing about burning churches. Okay, like there are differences in that fucking reality." And you think
Exactly.
Alice Cooper plays golf in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then goes on tour and then fucking paints himself all up like an idiot and sings all these fucking songs.
Honestly, that might be probably one of the greatest fucking examples of any of it ever.
It's all
Is
bullshit.
Alice Cooper had the fucking entire United States wrapped up in being worried about the dumbest shit possible. And he was literally like one of the smartest guys and the
He's
most
a Christian.
calmest guy on the
Alice Cooper
fucking
is a born
planet.
again Christian that just golfs.
And he knew how to sell fucking records.
Yeah, he's an entertainer.
Like that's a whole fucking thing.
Once he got sober, he was like, I'm gonna keep portraying this image of a wild man. And he was never that again. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And that's why I get irritated when I go to comment sections where people are like, what'd you expect from Manson? Because he looked like this, he's saying songs like this. And I'm like, motherfucker, Stephen King writes books about people murdering each other endlessly all the time. He does not do those things. Just because you create art, you paint a picture of someone dying, doesn't mean that you kill people. Like, it's so fucking stupid. It's the same thing with gangster rap, trying to take gangster rappers in the court. Like, remember when you rapped about murdering and selling drugs? I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, it's storytelling, it's art, it's not real. Unless you have it on video, it's not fucking real. Now, the Manson stuff, his music, which, yeah, there are a couple songs where he literally sings about beating or like punching women in the face, but you have to take it at that same fucking face value of any other shock rock. Cannibal Corpse, for example. You have to take it at like, okay, he's doing this to get a rise out of you, like not because he's actually punching women. It just turns out that Manson was actually punching women. So then you have to go, okay, he's actually a piece of shit. And he's also a drug addict and an alcoholic. And
here's my thing. Here's my thing with lyrical content. Being a vocalist for many bands over the fucking years, the lyrical content that I put forward or that I, contributed to these fucking bands was, some of it was idealistic, where it was like I've written horror songs before where I just like write about a horror movie or something like that. But I would say like a band like Ghost Eyes that I was in, 95% of those songs were cathartic, where it was like I had to say a certain thing to kind of get it off my chest, where it was just like, these are emotions that are destroying me. I need to put this out into the world. And I didn't sugarcoat anything. I just kind of made it maybe a little more poetic than it needed to be, but again, it just became this cathartic thing where like I could say these things on stage and be done with it.
Right.
And feel like I was dealing with it in a certain way. I don't know, like I really don't know if Manson had ever done that with any of his fucking lyrics where he was just trying to cathartically like put something that he felt like really weird about into his fucking lyrics just so he could fucking like function with it.
I
But I
think that
understand that
what
mindset.
Manson was doing, from now at all the testimonies and from like publicists that have worked for him, all these people who have worked for him, he seems like he never really grew out of that phase, which we're kind of talking about earlier, where you say shocking and horrible things just to get a laugh out of your friends. He never grew out of that, and he also never, tried to get sober. So he's he's like frat boy aesthetic mixed with shock rock. He definitely is a frat guy. He's a cliche frat guy, rapey, abusive, mean, but he also is like really smart and artistic. So he has he could rope in women and take advantage of those situations. I'm glad this stuff came out. It sucks.
Well, lyrically, that's where he and I differ. Is he was saying things, like you said about like punching women and shit like this.
He's got that heart-shaped glasses on. He's like, "Don't break my heart, or I'll break your heart-shaped glasses." And that's like clearly about what's her face, Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah, super gross. Like mine was
singing.
like being vulnerable and feeling broken and not knowing how else to tell anybody. Like I feel like a piece of shit. And then just like writing lyrics, like I feel like a piece of shit. Like I don't feel like a human being. That's kind of the route that I
like to hear the other
stuff.
Like,
hey, I got a chance to.
He's calling people gay and stuff, and calling people faggot and stuff. Where he was such a like. I'm like, dude, you're 50 years old, and you were like you were pushing kind of an image of pro, not gay or pro anything like that, but like pro being different and weird or different and unique or whatever you want to be.
Being goes yourself. By Marilyn Manson. Like they literally took an like
image of like
a famous lady and a famous serial killer and mixed the names together. Like that was the whole fucking the entire fucking thing. You boil it down to the very beginning of it. His name is Marilyn Manson. He wanted to be, in my opinion, just like Alice Cooper, where it was fucking like, I'm gonna go by a lady's name and I'm gonna be spooky.
Yeah.
Then through all of that,
yeah, for sure.
But through all of that, somehow like the spooky and the terrible and the gross stuff really took the front seat. And then you find out
he could have been in love with his own image. He could be in love with his own wanting to be this dangerous thing that the media made him out to be, that he was never really. Just some
right. That's what I'm saying. Like all of that shit, he wanted to take the front seat, and I can't speak to it because I don't know if it's a real thing. But I don't know if like he was like banking on that being a thing that he could hide behind, or if it was just something that kind of went with the entirety of it, where it was just like, oh, P.S. I'm also a gross person, but you might not know that if you're not paying attention.
I feel like he was able to hide this stuff so well because not only image, but like he had a sense of humor about his image and about the fact like he would walk in and be like, oh yeah, I murder and rape people for fun, because it was like it was a part of the thing where he could
Right.
joke about this kind of stuff, but also be really fucked up and kind of hide behind it, and take advantage of people who thought that he was this intellectual who was just lying. And then he really did have a fucking soundproof room where he could torture.
It's like Louis C.K.'s jerk off jokes. Oh, I jerk off all the fucking time. I'm constantly jerking off, and then you
I'd
find
much
out that he's
rather
actually jerking off in front of people,
I'd
and
rather have some cum in a plant than being beaten in a soundproof room, for sure.
yes,
But anyways,
I
that's
agree.
Manson, and I it's with a lot of things. It's like, it's just always this debate. It's like, we all know Michael Jackson's a pedophile. Well, most people know. You can deny it all you want, but he's the world's most successful pedophile. Um, he literally builds a theme park for diddling. God bless him, Jesus Christ, fucking amazing. You almost have to
He knew
admire it.
he knew how to get away with diddling.
It's like, you know what kids like? Theme parks. You know what poor people like? Money.
You know what I like? Buttholes.
Like little hairless beeholes. Bring them on down to Neverland. Anyways, that's gross, but um,
That's super gross. I'm mad we went there.
Manson, it sucks to me because I like a lot of people. A lot of people see it because, like, oh, Manson's been like kind of a throwaway artist for like at least a decade, where his stuff has been not really, he hasn't been shocking or like whatever for a long time, because that stuff doesn't shock people anymore. Like his music, singing about whatever. I always thought of him now as just kind of like, oh, to me he always seemed just L.A. He's like a rocker guy who just gets fucked up, goes to Chateau Marmont with Johnny Depp, and they do pills, and they fuck random wannabe models. That's what they do. Which I was fine with, totally fine. But now, he's a horrible fucking monster who I also think, not to shoot off a whole other thing, I think in 3 years he'll be back. I think he's going to go to rehab. I think he's going to get sober. I don't think he's going to find Jesus or anything wild, but he's going to get sober. The only way to save, because like, what people
If he wants to
can't
play
live
it right,
without
he
is
will.
money. He needs his money.
Right.
He got dropped by his label. His manager's gone. Everyone bounced. All of his merchandise is dead in the water. So he has no income flow right now. Like, the only thing that he has is his streaming numbers, which actually went up. Just like that country singer who said the N-word. All of his streaming went up after he said the N-word. Because people are fucking weird. And they want to go, hey, I want to listen to that guy who did that fucked up thing. I'm going to listen to it right now.
Yeah.
It's just like what? It's just like people like make a big deal about it, but it's like rubbernecking on the freeway when you see a car accident. You look.
That's the shit that I don't understand. Is there are enough people on this planet to bring it to anyone's attention that you're potentially a problem. But there's also just enough fucking people on the fucking planet that are gonna fucking boost your shit.
Yeah, and
Like that,
because there's money to be made. If there's money to be
I
made,
fucking hate that. Like, I fucking hate that mindset of how many goddamn dumb people are there on the fucking planet then? Like,
you gotta, like, if someone is a piece of shit garbage person, like a Bill Cosby or a Manson, but they're feeding families. So if you work for them and you're making
yeah.
$100K a year and it's feeding your kids, you're not gonna be like, oh, by the way, this guy rapes, because then your money's just gone.
Yeah.
That's what was Manson too, and that guy who was his like road manager or whatever, who came out and said all that stuff was true, and he even said like those guys, Manson and his crew, they took care of me. He said my mom died, they paid for like me to go home, they helped with funeral costs. That's what Manson did to be nice. So for him to come out and say, oh yeah, he definitely beat that actress, that's how you know it's true, because he fucking took care of that dude above and beyond of his actual like this is what I have to do as you work for me. You have I'm going to take care. He did it because he was doing it to be nice and thoughtful. So for that guy to come out later and go, yeah, that for sure all happened.
Yeah, but I mean, I
When I read
guess
that,
that's the
when I read
thing.
the
Like,
Westworld
oh,
stuff,
hey,
that
they
I was like, oh,
fucking.
this all happened for sure.
But that's the thing. Like, oh, hey, yeah, they gave me fucking money so I could, fucking go
yeah,
home
you should have said it at the time, but it's like
and
you
do
have
all
no
that
income.
shit.
You have no
Yeah,
income.
man, it's super gross. It's super gross.
If someone was paying me $100K a year, and that was my first big chunk of good money, working with someone I always admired, then I find out on the side, oh, he's beating up his girlfriend. That's gonna be a tough thing because you might rationalize it and you might accept certain things that he's doing because that's your money, and it not only is it taking care of you, it's taking care of your extended family. So it's money is the root of all evil is what we're talking about here. But it fucking sucks. Am I gonna stop listening to Manson records? No, but I will stop wearing his shirts. What was wild about the Manson shit hit the week after we did the last live stream and I had that Manson t-shirt. I'm like, I'm in the field, like, look at my cool Manson shirt.
Yeah. Great
Like,
job.
perfect. Fucking perfect. Of course, it hits like the 2 days later. But it's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose our sponsor now. Truly's gonna bounce. Oh, you like Manson? We're not gonna give you any more free of those Trulies anymore.
Truly's out of here.
I'll go to Bud Light Seltzer if I have to.
No, if I had to stop drinking Truly or White Claw, I'm going with fucking Corona.
I'll just stop drinking. I'm gonna go back to these guys. Deftones beer, the hardest beer to find. It cost me.
Please send us your products for free.
This beer cost me $36. 4 beers.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, the one band.
Wrap your brain around that, and then wrap your brain around the fact that if I send one cross country, that's $15 each.
Right.
So
That's insane.
$45.
Great job.
I mean, I could not send it to you if you're feeling bad about it.
A little bit. I don't want to be a burden.
I mean, I laid on that grenade because I was like, do I really want to keep checking this Venmo in San Rafael, or do I just want to like pay the extra money? Because San Rafael is about a 20-minute drive, so I was like, gas money there and back. Not quite an extra $20, but some money and time. So it literally came like 2 days later. I ordered it 2 days later. Boom, it's there.
Damn.
It's just like,
I don't know.
I'm a really good person, and I do things out of the kindness of my heart. Money is not an object when it comes to the people I care about and just bringing a little joy into their lives.
You lost me at I'm a good person.
yeah.
I didn't hear the rest of that.
All right, let's move on from Manson. Manson's a piece of shit, but Mechanical Animal still is a good album, and that's all I have to say.
We got like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, let's move into the Mando chick because I feel like that's not really like that's. Greetings from Chile. What up, Toy Biz 90? What up, guy? Chile. What time is it in Chile? I like it.
Oh shit.
Toy Biz 90. What up, dude? It's 8:44 West Coast time, California time. Courtney's on East Coast Ohio time, so he's at what?
It is 11:42 in Ohio.
Okay, well my watch is 2 minutes faster. Yours is 2 minutes slow. We'll never know. Actually, I can look at that as 8:42, so my watch is 2 minutes fast. Okay, fuck you. Damn, it's 1:42 in Chile.
I literally just tried to look in my pocket for my phone so I could check the
That'll
time.
get you. I saw it up there in the corner.
It's so stupid. What the fuck?
Real quick about the what is her name? What is the girl? I know her Cara Dune is the character. What is their name?
Cara Dune's okay. I don't know her goddamn real name. She's a piece of shit.
Something. Okay, so
Who cares?
she was what, an MMA fighter or some kind of fighter. She got into some movies and she's very butch, and I liked her in that role, and I thought she was okay. Do I think she was essential to that show? No, not even a fucking little bit. The show literally relies on two things: The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. You could fucking get rid of everyone else. The show is a hit. It's fucking
Dude,
dumb.
this has been my fucking like beginning and end of all of it. Is she's a secondary character?
Thirdary, because like her story arc does
not fucking have a bearing on where that show goes.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a fucking little bit. Who gives a fuck? Get the fuck out of here with the anti-Semitic fucking horse shit. Get the fuck out of here with your fucking stupid conservative ideals. Get the fuck out of here.
It's wild to me that she... The funniest thing about it was like, there were two funny things. First, her getting the approval of Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz posting like a long tweet about it, and her going, "Thank you, Ted." If Ted Cruz is on your side, you know you fucked up, because he is like a human trash bag. And
not just Ted Cruz, but Ben fucking Shapiro.
Who knew that Ben Shapiro had a production company? And now they're going to make a movie, which I am going to bootleg and watch, because I will want to see how bad it is. I have to know. Because you imagine going from like the biggest, you're on literally the biggest, most popular TV show of all time, to going into a straight-to-video movie that Ben Shapiro's company produced.
But also being a part of like one of the biggest fucking like Marvel Sony fucking movies, of being in fucking Deadpool, and then you go even farther, like, hey, I'm already in a fucking Marvel movie, but it's Sony, so I'm gonna step up and I'm just gonna go straight fucking Disney, and then where do I go from there? Oh, you go back to the fucking bottom in the back of the fucking line, you piece of shit, because you are dumb as fuck.
You're in Kirk Cameron Town. You're in Dean Caneville. You're in Kevin Sorbo
Exactly. Land. Yeah, you're in Kevin Sorbo fucking land.
You're in a 1,000 downloads. That's it. Your shit is over. Yeah, Ben Shapiro and his rap. Ben Shapiro. Rap is not music. Rap is not music. Music has melody. Blah, 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 blah. Like, as soon as he did that, I was like, oh my god, this guy, like...
Yes, Ben. Pussy's also dry forever.
It's like, fuck, dude, rap music is not music. And that was the most amazing thing, because I was like, oh, that's the definition of, like, you don't understand things and you are not cool. Like, just to be, like, that's some West Goon shit. Like, that's where you just, like, you're so out of touch that you just say things. But like,
the entire planet that has access to everything that you're putting out there. How do you tell them that you were the whitest dude ever?
And not only that, I like Ben Shapiro. The most annoying part about him is the fact that he's Jewish. He like plays off it, being like, "I can't be a racist. I'm Jewish. I can't be a racist. I'm Jewish." And I'm like, that's not how racism works, my guy. Brown people hate brown people, and it's very.
That's called self-loathing.
Yeah,
that's as far as that goes.
If you've ever dealt with people of color, they aren't very nice to other people of color, and it's racist. So just because you are Jewish and you've been marginalized, and you have had horrible things happen to your family, does not mean that you are incapable of also marginalizing and also being horrible. That fucking shit the shit he said about Muslims and Islam and rallying people to hate them, fuck out of here, bro. He is trash, and I would love to fight him. I've never wanted to fight anyone more than Ben Shapiro. I'm here. I just said I want to fight Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, if you're listening, I want to fight you in an octagon. I want to beat your ass. I'll grow another mustache, and I'll destroy you, brother. Fucking kill you.
Grow 10 mustaches.
You're 5'5", and you're a fucking worm. You're the wormiest worm that ever lived on the earth. And I would love to just.
That's the thing. I would fight him in an octagon, and I would fight him in a fucking square. I'd fight him in a fucking straight line. Fuck
Anybody
that dude.
who thinks that rap music is not music is never gonna win a fight.
I will say this: anybody that thinks rap music ain't rap music ain't never heard the Coop.
It's just like he's a cartoon caricature of like fragile white ego. Just a joke.
That's the thing.
Fact that he sounds like a worm and that he's only like 5'5" is amazing. It's just
dude, he's the simplest fucking punchline to any fucking joke.
What was wild about
he's every white person that thinks fucking mayonnaise is spicy. He's fucking weak. He's fucking weak. He's a fucking coward.
What was wild about the fucking Mando shit is like she had already gotten, it's like not like completely out of left field. She'd already gotten a warning for her social media before from Disney. And they basically told her once, like, you need to cut it out. And it's not like she was like, oh, I am. She was like tweeting or posting stories about how she thinks trickle down economics work, or she thinks that like, smaller government is a good idea, because those things would not trigger a reaction from your boss. If you compare the fact that you believe these things to being, run out to the streets like Jewish people during the Holocaust, you think that like being a conservative is on that level. That's when you get fucking fired. Because you live in a free country where you can actually think those dumb fucking things, and nobody's pulling you out of your fucking house. Trump literally tried to do an insurrection, and he's fine. He's in Florida. He's not even going to get in trouble for it. So shut the fuck up.
He got acquitted for his second fucking impeachment.
You're like, oh, we're so persecuted. We're going to get rounded up. Twitter won't let me say racist things. It's like, shut the fuck up. Think of it like this. If you have a favorite bar, you love that bar. Let's say I have a favorite bar. I go in that bar and I just walk in and I'm like, hey, guess what? I think all black people are stupid. Do you think the bar is going to kick me out? Or you think they're going to let me out? It's fine. It's America. He can say whatever he wants. Nope. They're going to fucking throw me out because that's a fucking business. And you're affecting their clients inside of the business. They don't want to hear your fucking dumb shit.
And there's a good chance. And there's a good chance that your balls are going to end up in your fucking throat when they kick them in.
Yeah, you're hurting the fucking money in their establishment. That's what she's doing with Disney. You're hurting the fucking money. If you come near the Disney money, get the fuck out of here. That's all they care about. That's why they recast everybody in the Star Wars movies to be brown and lady, because they want to make money off brown people and ladies. Not because they care about brown people and ladies. They want to make money off brown people and ladies. They don't give a fuck.
And what's bananas to me is like all the fucking Nazi ties of Disney from days of old, and now they're just like, no, you can't fucking say that shit. Get the fuck out. And it's so maybe that was a thing at one time, but it definitely ain't fucking now.
I saw a funny TikTok where it was like, oh yeah, when they were like talking about that, like where it's like, Disney people were like, oh, she said this about being Jewish, and then like a guy like dressed like Walt Disney, like, oh, let me hear more of this gal. She's got moxie, because we all know Disney was a racist.
He was definitely a fucking racist, and the fact that it's not that now, like. We live in a different fucking time. We're not in the same fucking vein anymore.
I've literally, so Trump is president, right? Trump is he has the highest position in the country. everything he believes and thinks and says, I don't agree with. But at no point did I ever think, oh, I'm not free anymore to say whatever I want. I never felt that way. Said whatever the fuck I want. I got on a live stream every fucking week. None of that shit changed. And that is exactly what conservatives don't get. If I walked into my place of business and was like, oh, I just started yelling at my job about like whatever I think, that's a different fucking story, bro.
Exactly.
You sign contracts and say, hey, don't do this, hey, don't do that. Don't say anything too wild because like we have an image to uphold. And then you break that contract and big surprise, you get fucking fired. And
dude,
I think the bar thing is the best example.
The company I work for,
young people out.
The company I work for is automotive. And we deal with like big automotive companies. We deal with fucking Ford. We deal with Chevrolet. We deal with fucking GM.
Right.
Like those are our fucking. That's who we build our shit for. If I went into work and tried any of that, it wouldn't be a day. It wouldn't even be a day. It would be like, oh, you just said some shit out loud. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because it could never be tied to any of those guys. Like, they would never allow anything like that.
It shouldn't even be, like, such a fucking... And, like, people are like... It's the same thing when, like, conservatives all mad they were getting kicked off of Twitter and shit. And I'm like, you're not getting kicked off of Twitter because of how you feel about taxes. You're getting kicked off of Twitter because you're literally retweeting lies. And it's harmful to dumb people. So it's like... And also, Twitter is a fucking business. It's not in the Constitution. Everybody should have to be able to say whatever they want on Twitter. Twitter is a business, and you are using it for free. I got fucking in trouble so many times on Facebook in the last month for like the littlest things. But guess what? I don't pay for it. So if they want to boot me off, it's their fucking right. Boot me off for calling Star Wars nerds fucking nerds.
Exactly.
And also sending a Hitler Valentine to Beck in 2013, which I just got in trouble for now.
Which is also hilarious.
I'm currently like on a warning right now because of that Hitler Valentine I sent to Beck 7 years ago.
That's bananas.
Actually, no, 8 years ago. That's fucking wild. I got hit with that. I was like, what is this? I'm in trouble for what? It was like, you are the dictator of my heart or some shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's funny. The joke. I'm like,
that's
look
the
at
thing,
the rest
that's
of my
the thing
fucking
too.
timeline. Am I a fucking Nazi? No. Shut
That's the thing too, is seeing things as a fucking joke. I know not everybody's gonna fucking get it. Like, not everybody gets everything the same way that we get things.
Right.
Jokes
I say
happen.
here. Not cool.
Yeah, like fucking jokes happen.
Jokes, yes.
Sometimes that's the best coping mechanism.
Of course.
For terrible things is to joke about it. Like, I've had terrible... Dude, when I quit fucking drinking for that year and a half, it was because it was the worst part of my fucking life that had climbed on top of me and was fucking up everything. You know how I handled it? I fucking joked about it because it made me feel more comfortable dealing with it through the process of every single party I went to where everybody was drinking and they were like, hey, how you doing? And like, I'd be a lot cooler if I had 5 beers right now.
5 beers.
Yeah, like, give me 5 beers. And, like, everybody was like, what? That's not funny. And it's funny to me because that's how I need to process this horseshit. I'm so tired of these fucking candy floss fucking wieners, for a better fucking term, is that like you can't treat everything like it's going to destroy the world. Yes, things are bad. Things are inherently fucking bad, and we don't want to deal with them. but we have to deal with them, and you find the way to deal with them. And either you let it continue or you stop it. And sometimes stopping it is where you find the humor in it. Is you make fun of it because it's such an outlandish fucking thing. You make fun of it because it's so stupid. You
Yeah.
make fun of it because it's so fucking asinine.
Yeah.
That who in the right mind would be a part of it? So you just you make fun of it.
I've definitely said things on here that if you didn't know me and you just heard me say, you might think, "Oh, this guy hates a lot of different kinds of people," but really, I just hate myself.
That's a thing. That's a real fucking
I don't really
thing.
hate myself, but that was also a joke inside of a story about jokes and scenes. I don't hate myself. I'm cool. I'm the coolest guy I know.
Your mustache proves it.
Look at it. I gotta pee real bad, so we're gonna cut off. That's it for Star Wars lady. She sucks. I hope she never works again. Anything important.
But in cooler news,
We have
Pedro from Mandalorian is going to be fucking Joel in HBO's The Last of Us.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what that is. A video game?
It's a very cool fucking video game.
Yeah,
I really enjoy that fucking video game. I haven't played the second one yet, and they also cast crap. God damn it! I had all this like laid out earlier. I thought we'd be talking about this sooner. The young girl from Game of Thrones is going to be the girl from The Last of Us.
I don't know if I gotta pee. Let's go. I can't hold it anymore. Let's wrap up this second hour. We're gonna come back for not a full hour.
I'll do some research and I will have names for you when we come back.
Do that research. We'll come back and we're gonna talk about what were we talking about? Joss Whedon. Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay,
Bella Ramsey is the name of the girl who is going to play Ellie in the HBO version of The Last of Us.
no idea.
I didn't look up who she played in Game of Thrones, but she was the young girl who was put in charge of one of Winterfell's like what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Should be the name of the live stream. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I didn't expect to come back so fast, and I was trying to do research. My bad.
Lastly, but not leastly, in our brief cancel culture topic, we're going to talk about Joss Whedon, which this one is different because I've been reading as much as I can about it, and this all started, if you don't know, with the Ray Fisher stuff with Justice League. Joss Whedon took over as director for Zack Snyder when Zack Snyder's daughter killed herself. And he basically was like, I'm going to take some family time. And the movie's kind of a mess. So they hired Joss to come in, kind of basically marvelize it, make more jokes, make it a little lighter, blah, 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 wrap it up. And the movie sucks. And so we're all getting this stupid ass Zack Snyder shit next month. But apparently Joss Whedon was abusive to Ray Fisher on set, mean to him. I don't really understand the lengths of what he did, but like he was basically an asshole to him, and he basically told him like you're never gonna be Cyborg again. They cut like most of his scenes from the movie, and I guess Joss Whedon was just a huge prick on set. Made a lot of comments about Zack Snyder's vision, about what he wanted to do, which I'd probably do the same thing if I took over because Zack Snyder is a hack. I'd probably make. I guess it's not the professional thing to do to go on set and be, hey, yeah, we're going to change all this crap because this guy sucks dicks. You don't want to be that guy on set because you're a professional. But so that all came out, and that kind of sat. I think for like 6 months, there's been all this investigation with Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers basically came back to Ray Fisher and was like, oh, there's not really much for you to fucking do. Nothing really happened. Jeff Johns was involved. All these little things, these big people in DC and Warner Brothers were involved. But the really hit homie stuff hit like last week when Charisma Carpenter, who played Cordelia on Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, Buffy is one of the most important things to me pop culture wise. It's right up there with X-Men. It's very important to me. It was personality building. It's like there are literal. If you took three things, you took X-Men and Buffy and Mallrats. Like these are the things that kind of raised me pop culture wise in very formative years. Buffy was very important to the feminist movement in television and movies. That's why it's so fucking wild now to have all the actresses on that show basically go, oh yeah, he was a huge prick. He was mentally abusive to me. He said horrible things to me, damaged my whole psyche on that show the whole time. The Charisma Carpenter.
Well, what's crazy to me is it's not just the actresses; it's the fucking female writers on that show. Where it was like his goal to fucking outdo them or like make them fucking cry and shit like that. And
he seems to me to be more of an old school piece of shit. Cause like I feel like in the like we're so used to now dealing with the Me Too pieces of shit where they were like, oh, I'm gonna push you in the corner, maybe like suck my dick or I'll fire you from this movie, that kind of shit.
It's not like a physical aspect to it. It's more just like a mentality fucking thing of like
it's megalomania.
Yeah.
It's where it's like I am in control, and if you do anything to sideways what I want to do or whatever, I'm going to make you pay for it. And Charisma Carpenter's case was she got pregnant, and he basically wrote her off the show. She got killed or whatever. She wrote off on Angel. And also chastised her apparently about it the whole time, called her fat. There was stuff with Michelle Trachtenberg, who played Dawn, and there was like a thing where he was not allowed to be alone with her in a room, which signifies a lot of stuff.
Hers is the most that I've seen. Is where a lot of the articles that I've seen are about her interactions with him. Like, oh yeah, he was a fucking scumbag. P.S. He wasn't allowed to be alone with me on set. Like, that's fucking bananas to me. That you can't be with a fucking, like, character on fucking set alone. That's scary.
Yeah.
Just because he probably would have fucking destroyed her verbally.
Yeah. I think, like, and you know, Amber Benson, who played Tara, was also a person who's come out on Twitter and said some stuff. She basically said everything that Charisma Carpenter and everyone else was saying is true. I saw that James Marsters, who played Spike, he posted something on Instagram which was basically less revealing, which was just like, I support all of the actresses and people who have come forward to say these things. But at the same time,
if you can't trust Spike, who are you going to trust?
He basically was like, same thing with what Sarah Michelle Gellar said was like, this is a very important thing to my career. I owe everything. Basically, they owe everything to Joss Whedon. Their careers, they owe them. But at the same time, it's like, if you owe your career to a piece of shit, it's like hard because you don't want to lose your career. you don't want to shit on the person who made you, but at the same time, you don't want to not support the people who are in the trenches with you. So
honestly, but at the same time, if you've risen above that starting point and you made it to another one,
but they really, I mean,
fuck that guy.
Sarah Michelle Gellar did, in a sense, where she was like in movies and stuff, but then her career, just like her movie career, didn't really pan out. And then in the last 10 years, especially, she's
This is not his
going
fault.
back to like her.
Obviously, that's not his fault, but
right.
At the same time, I could understand the fear of being like, hey, fucking blibbity blah, fucking did some shit, and then you don't work anymore. But I don't know, man. It's super touchy ground.
It sucks because
you want people to fucking call people out on their bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want. Like, I want people to call me out on my fucking bullshit, especially at work. Like, I will tell people straight up, like, if I'm doing something fucked up, fucking say so, and we'll work on it. And like, I'm the biggest detractor from things that I'm doing at work, where I'm just like, if the way that I'm teaching you how to do this is not the way that you feel like you should be learning how to do this, fucking say so we can fix it. Right. And I'm also the first person to tell on myself. Like, if I know that I'm doing something that's out of company standards, and there's a chance that I'm going to get fucking busted for doing that, I will go to my boss and be like, hey, fucking, I did it this way because I thought it would be easy. And if it doesn't pan out for like even the next shift, or if it doesn't pan out for the rest of the night, this is me. Like, I put this into motion.
Right.
Like, I refuse to let people tell on me. Like, that's not something that I want to afford anybody. I want that to be something that is transparent between me and somebody above me. Is, hey, I fucked up. Like, I want to be the person to say, hey, I fucked up.
Right.
I don't want time to go by.
With this one, all the stuff that's happened, like the Manson thing was rough for me because like I like Manson, but he's not like important to my upbringing. But Joss, I have met Joss Whedon. I met him at WizardCon, I think in 2005. I actually went with my old college roommate John Joy. We went to WizardCon in Long Beach when I was still living in Arizona, and we actually ran into Joss. He was walking just down the hall. We were heading into a panel. I don't remember what panel it was. He was just walking, and I ran up to him and I was like, "Hey, Joss fucking Whedon, like, take a picture with me." And we took a picture, and that picture is somewhere, and I looked terrible. And it was before he was like cutting all of his bald hair off. He looked terrible. But he was super nice, and he was like, I basically told him, I was like, dude, Buffy was like one of the biggest, most important shows of my life, and he was very nice, and that obviously reflects nothing on a person or what they are in their personal lives or how they work.
Sorry, I tripped.
But, like, it just sucks. It makes it extra shitty because like your experience is your experience with people, and so when someone comes up to you and goes, "Oh, by the way, this person that you said was your best friend also like punched me in the face one time," it's like, fuck, dude. That sucks. But it's hard for you, a person, you have to really empathize. But once the one story came out, the next story came out, I was like, okay. So it's pretty much clear that Joss Whedon is a very vindictive and cruel person. It was like how his ex-wife wrote that stuff about how like it was like, I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago now, where she wrote that big thing where And I was still on Josh's side at that point because I was like, okay, so he sucks at being married and he cheated on his wife. I was like, that is literally like how many men? Millions of men. I was like, I'm not gonna hate Joss Whedon because he fucked around when he got famous. He had been this ugly bald guy, and all of a sudden he's famous. He can fuck all these women. I'm not gonna be mad at him for that. I totally get it. This stuff is harder to wrap your brain around because it's like, why were you mean to these people who were helping make you who you are? Like, I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Well,
this was
Caitlin was talking about charisma, saying the shit before about Jaws.
Yeah, the
Before
charisma stuff was pretty. That was kind of open, where like, but even in like, cause she still came back to do like the Entertainment Weekly 20-year anniversary special where they all did the pictures and stuff. They did the interviews, and she has talked in interviews where like she had said that Joss was like mad that she got pregnant and stuff, but she never worded it in a certain way where it was like he was being cruel to her. He was just saying, I'm mad that you got pregnant. I'm writing you off the show because you got pregnant. It doesn't work with what we're doing. And so if you think from a cruel business standpoint, you go, okay, I can kind of understand that. Like, he has an agenda. If you're like, I need time off, and you're taking from that, you go, okay, I can kind of see it dickish for sure. But you can kind of go, okay, I'll excuse it. And then it just became an add-on with an add-on and an add-on where you're just like, okay, well, this is completely unreasonably mean. And I just don't understand. I'll never understand, probably because I'll never really be in a place of power like that, control over people who worship my ideas and who I am, where I can kind of take advantage of situations. I'll probably never be in that to that degree. I've definitely manipulated people because I'm so cool, but not like on that level. I could only dream.
We could all only dream.
But like, yeah, I can't. It's hard for me as a poor person who's never had great success in film and TV to not. I obviously can't wrap my brain around it. But any kind of fame and stuff, like, it changes you. Just like the Manson stuff. Manson was probably not that guy, and then, he had some issues, and all of a sudden you give him millions and millions of dollars, and a lot of people were telling him he could do whatever the fuck he wants without consequence. And that builds and builds and builds. Same thing with this. It builds. Fame is a drug, like anything else.
So then where do we draw the line? Are we drawing the line at the person themselves, or are we drawing the line at the people who fucking feed it?
I definitely will not. I would never try to persecute or come after people who were like the assistant who may have known something and didn't say anything, because God, it's a struggle. It's a struggle making it in entertainment. It's a struggle making it. And if you were to go, okay, this person's doing this, and that's the end of your fucking career in the business, and they'll blacklist you at that point.
Yeah,
I get it. That fear is like, if you're trying to make it and also take care of people you care about, like, I totally understand why you wouldn't come out and say something. And I would never go after those people. It's better that at some point when it starts to snowball that you also, throw your hat in the ring and be like, also, I know this. And people might go, oh, you should have said something when you could have said something. Like, yeah, but I have empathy for the situation of the little people who are around in those situations. It's not like the Cosby thing where like the one guy was like, the assistant guy was like perpetrating like all of these like drugs and hookups. If you're like an assistant or something who works down the line and you know something bad, but you don't know, but you kind of know, what are you gonna do? If you spoke up at the time, you would have just got drowned out.
Well, I mean,
I believed you.
I don't know. I kind of feel like
climate is different now than it was.
If you know, you're fucking complacent.
Right, but like if you know and said something, like let's say something was happening in like 2005 or 2000, even later 2010, you say something and that's the end of your career. No one's gonna hire you ever again. and nothing is going to change. Now, the fact that things are actually changing and there is an actual movement around things. So if you come out and say, hey, this person said this to me, hey, this person did this to me, and actual change and movement immediately comes around, I think now you are far less innocent. You know what I mean? Like if something was happening now in 2021, your boss was like diddling someone like on the low and you didn't say anything, it came out later, then you might be a lot more fucked than you would have been, especially in like the 90s or the early 2000s, where this stuff was just like the norm. It's the fucking norm. The Justin Timberlake stuff, everything he said about Britney Spears, the norm. The Janet Jackson stuff, the norm. People aren't going to come after you. Like 20 years later, he's now apologizing. That's how long it took for that shit to catch up to him. So I think back then, it's just like the Dave Letterman thing. I'm not gonna go try to string up Dave Letterman because he gave an insensitive fucking interview in 2010. I'm just not, because that was the world that existed at that time. Things are different now,
right?
For the better, so everybody knows better. So there's no reason to go string up people from fucking 10, 20 years ago who were just a part of the problem. And there's nothing you can do except now everyone knows what the problem is, and now from now going forward, you can go, hey, I saw that. That's fucked up. Don't do that. And you tell someone, and then it ends. Now there's less of a fear of like career backlash if you speak out. There's less of a fear of just like ruin your whole fucking life if you speak out on someone you work for. So things are better. So I think now is like, okay, but I'm not gonna get mad at somebody for not saying something a decade ago, or even or whatever. Especially if they were just like a grunt and you're making just enough money to get by, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Totally fucking get it.
But I mean, those are definitely things that need to be taken into consideration. Is not that it excuses them,
You gotta
but
live with your own shit. You gotta live with your own shit.
The temperament of a time frame is a thing to consider when delivering a fucking truth to people. Is not so much like a self-preservation thing, but just where are we at with this being a fucking problem? And it sucks fucking saying that out loud. Like it really sucks saying that out loud, but like where are we at with this being a fucking thing that you get to say out loud? Like today is way different than 10 years ago, and 10 years ago is different than from 10 years ago from that.
So it's different.
Yeah, it like I don't know, like look at some of the articles that are coming out now about Lucille Ball and the way that he treated her during the time of filming their show together and stuff like that. The way that Desi fucking treated her during those fucking times, it's nobody wanted to say anything about that because it was it meant your job, it meant your fucking your time, whatever. And yeah, we can sit here and say like it shouldn't matter, but nobody knows their home life, nobody knows their fucking shit, where they gotta fucking think about like, God damn it, I just saw the worst thing happen to a person possible.
Yeah.
But if I say something, I can't afford to fucking be a person anymore. Like, I can't afford to be in this business anymore. I can't afford my fucking home. I can't afford my fucking car. I can't do these things. And it's such a shitty place to be. It's scary. It's 100% scary for these people. It's just one of those things. Like, how do you approach the biggest problem in the room and maintain. Like how would anybody ever know
Thank you for the
that
hearts. Brotherly
that
Bear,
Josh
thank
would,
you for the love.
yeah, like how would you ever know that for 1 second Joss Whedon wouldn't be like, oh, this dude fucking is full of shit. He can't work anywhere ever again. And that person could be 100% right and 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 factful, and your life is just completely ruined because you told the fucking truth. Like that's fucking frightening. That is so scary.
Yeah, that's kind of what this stuff does now, where like it comes out and you go, okay, well, you cannot like Brett Ratner and these kind of people cannot just they can't exist now. Like I don't think Joss Whedon, like he had a show coming out, they've already taken his name off as executive producer. Like I don't think he exists. I don't think I think his career is done. He might be like a ghostwriter for TV shows and stuff to make money in the future, but he's not going to ever be a household name again. You can't exist in this world with those kind of behaviors that we live in now, and that's
That's the thing. It's
yeah,
like
but
you
it's
have
also
like the
good.
Cara Dune lady saying these outlandish things about the Holocaust, and she immediately gets fucking let go. But then you have somebody like fucking Mark Ruffalo, who's saying the same dumb shit, who still has a fucking job. Like, where's the line? Like, where do you draw the
Mark
fucking
Ruffalo, what did
line?
he say?
He says some weird anti-Semitic fucking shit too.
Mark Ruffalo, the Hawk,
Yeah,
anti-Semitic.
yeah.
When?
Look at his Twitter, bro.
I don't believe that.
I do. I do.
What is this? Response to show your screen.
I fell over.
Have y'all got the Pokemon Happy Meals Poke Cards? No?
No, we haven't forgot. Just nobody gives a shit.
I don't know I don't know much about Pokemon. You got the Pokey and the Mon.
God damn it. I'm trying to charge my phone.
The Pokey, the Pokey and the Mon and the Pokemon.
Yeah, say it like Bill Cosby.
You know what's wild? So here's a little side.
We're Pokey and Mon. You got your Pokemon.
Here's my Pokemon story, and also just a general observation about being like a nerd, a collector nerd. So like I go to Target all the time, not just for toys and shit. I go to Target all the time because it's like Walmart here because there's not a lot of Walmarts. You go there, I need deodorant or whatever the fuck. So I'm in Target a lot, and so like I pee a lot, so I usually go right to the restroom when I come in and pee. Then you kind of like zigzag. I always end up cutting through that wall that's all the Pokemon cards and the cards, the card wall that's in Target.
Okay.
And like
our Target is like a couple aisles in, so it's like away from everything.
Yeah, it's like the last aisle. So like I always cut through there to go back through the store because it's not an active aisle. So I always cut through that aisle, and there's always like one or two dudes, and like I'm always like, I always look at these guys looking at the Pokemon cards and the cards, and like I have such animosity for them. And I'm like, I walk in like I'm a cool guy. I got my leather jacket on and with all my pins and shit, and like I'm a cool guy. And like I look at them like these fucking nerds with their stupid. They're really looking through they're looking through cards right now. And then
we go look at toys.
And then I immediately go to the action figure aisle and look at fucking toys. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the cool one.
I know that fucking sinking feeling all too well. Where it's like yep.
All the fucking time.
Yep. It's painful. It's painful because you want to think that like cards and figures are so different from each other, but they're fucking not.
Nah,
They're
it's all the
not.
same shit. You're just blowing
Yeah.
money on junk. But it was like funny because like the last time there was like these two dudes and they were talking to like a Target employee, some old lady. She must have been asking questions like, "Well, where are you, two grown men in this aisle?" And they were like, "Yeah, if I don't find anything, I have friends who tell us what's in stock and different Targets, and we show up." And she was like, "Oh, that's so nice." And I'm just like, "Fucking nerds," and I kept walking. But like. It's so funny. It's like also another thing that I do when I go into Target. Like if I'm walking through the parking lot and I'm going in, especially early morning runs to Target, and I see like another dude who's there by himself, and let's say he has like a beard and he's kind of fat, like a fat white dude with a beard going into the Target. I'm like, he's here for toys. So I start walking faster. I started walking faster to try to like get into the fucking store before him so I can see the fucking toys because I don't know, maybe he might get that one thing that I want, but I'm like so paranoid. I always see these dudes. I'm like, it's a fucking that guy's here for toys, and it's rarely the case. It's rare.
Yeah, I'd say like rarely do I see those guys.
But like here, there's like fucking scalpers.
Never have I
Scalpers
ever
are
fucking
rampant.
tried to beat anybody inside the store. But I've definitely had conversations with people in the toy aisle where it's just like they have something in their hand, especially at Target, where they have something in their hand and they're like, well, I don't know. And then I gotta tell them, like, yeah, they don't make that anymore, so you should probably grab that.
Well, that's what
Like,
I did when I found those gold McFarlanes, which I sold for $100 a pop on eBay.
there you go.
The gold
There you
Arkham,
go.
the gold Arkham, and the gold Deathstroke I found at the Emeryville Target. So I walk right up into that section and I grab both of them immediately. I'm holding them, and there's this fucking dude who comes around the corner and he's like standing there. He's kind of like 4 feet away from me. He's looking at me, and I was like, oh, this guy, he's watching. So I kind of like try to put him. I was like starting to put him back, and then I was like, meh, and I walk away, and I knew he was so mad because like that's like free money right there, bro. I was like, good fucking luck in your search. Because that shit cost $40, and I made let's see, 20. I made 80.
Dude, honestly, that is
$8.
probably the nerdiest I've ever felt my entire life. Is around Christmas time to tell a dude to pick up the fucking Godzilla figures he had in his fucking hand.
I would never tell anybody to do that. I would tell them to put it down.
Well, he was like, "Whoa, they're for my nephew, and there's like 2 on the shelf," and I was like, "Yeah, then fucking get them, dude. Like, you don't know if there's gonna be a fucking thing." And he's like, and then his wife came around the corner and he was like, well, fucking, they might not be a thing anymore. I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I should have told him that.
But I got like nothing but like the last.
But to me, that's the extension of like being a collector, where he could like get those things and like tell his nephew like, hey, I bought these things for you because I love you. You're a good kid.
Fuck that guy.
But also like hang on to these because they might be a thing in the future. Like this might be something. I'm not saying like they're gonna be like some fucking. They're not gonna put them through college or anything like that.
No,
But
no collectibles will do that these days.
right. But they could be a thing where they, you know, they hold some kind of monetary value, but also because they're fucking super rad. Like that's a fun thing.
Shout out Brotherly Bear is using the question feature on the screen. I love it. No one ever uses this feature.
And nobody fucking touches this shit. I'm so surprised by this.
Thanks for giving back for the V-Day cards. Yeah, I sent out about 30 envelopes last week. Everybody who's in California got them, I think. Everybody else probably won't get them So God knows, because I think Monday is President's Day. So if you weren't in California, they're probably not going to show up till Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. At the
Brotherly, is that you laying on the fucking hearts, man?
Oh, that's definitely him.
Fantastic.
Um,
We don't see a lot of those.
yeah, I sent him. I sent him some Cyclops Valentines because basically what happened is I on purpose. I bought some X-Men Valentines that I already owned because I saw them on eBay for so cheap. Some '90s ones. I was like,
I appreciate it out of it.
And like, I had this huge box of pre-stamped envelopes from 1989. There's stamps from 1989. What's wild about those stamps? I don't know if you saw in your envelope if they stamped them all up with whatever, but like I could technically sell each one of those envelopes on eBay for $5 a piece. And I have a box about I think I have like 80 left, so I might relist all the envelopes on eBay and sell them for $5 a piece. But they were basically like, to me, free stamped envelopes. So I was like, fuck it, this won't cost me any money to send these Valentines out to whoever says they want a Valentine. And I sent out, I think, like 30 envelopes. I hope they all show up. I had one going to Australia. Most of them are Ohio and California, though, and then some few randoms.
Well, since we've been packing for the move and everything, like, we've been going through boxes.
Who is Gus, and what are his collectibles? Who's Gus? Is that a store?
Jeremy. No, that's Jeremy.
Jeremy who? What are his collectibles? I'll tell you what they're worth and how.
Jeremy was in Shitty on Blats
Ah,
with Denny and I.
okay, I know who Denny is.
Yeah. Well, Gus was the guitar player in the band that
What are his
Denny and I
collectibles?
were in with Jacob. He's got
You aren't.
some nice. Gus has some nice fucking like A-Team stuff. He's got some cool, just like straight up Mr. T stuff.
Yeah, but you
But
aren't.
he's also got some like old wrestling stuff.
You aren't sending a kid through college with any of it or retiring early.
Right. Yeah.
Do you have stuff from like the 80s, like mint stuff from the 80s, even like the most rarest He-Man and Ninja Turtles? You're talking about like $100 for.
Like I'm pretty sure I've talked about this stuff before, just on like the collecting tip. Is the reason that I collect anything now is because of the original Star Wars figures that I lost in a fucking move back in the day. Like,
where my mom
knowing
threw
how
out
much,
my Ninja Turtles. She gave my Ninja Turtles away. All my
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles and He-Man figures, she gave them shits away to my cousins.
like those are things you could finance a house on
I don't know.
to a certain degree. But like those are the things that were actually worth anything today.
I think
But you were talking about like the envelopes and everything, and I wanted to say, like, since like the move and everything, like we're getting ready to move and I'm going through things, fucking I found it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. They were Star Wars fucking postcards and stamps. Like the actual like booklet full of those things. And it's just like, why the fuck do we even have this? Like, I was mad. I was like, why the fuck do we have this? Like, why the fuck do we have fucking Star Wars fucking postcards?
You're gonna
and
be in for a
stamps?
real treat when your fucking shirt ever fucking shows up, because I've got like a whole pile. I kind of like, you know how Big Bad Toy Store has like their little pile of loot. I don't know if you've ever ordered with them, where you can just keep adding things to a pile of loot until it all is released at the same time, and then they send it to you. That's kind of how it is. I have like 4 things for you, and it's just waiting for those goddamn shirts to show up. Brotherly
Nice.
Bear wants to know if we have any Mortal Kombat Story collectibles. I do not.
Yeah, I don't have anything Mortal Kombat.
I mean, I have the Spawn. I have the Spawn McFarlane Mortal Kombat figure. It's right there, I believe. But
Is that the variant one where his suit's white?
No.
Mr. Red?
This was the second one, which I believe had a sword. Because I think which one was the first one had an axe? I don't remember the order. Mine was the second one because it was like an axe and a sword, and then some other third weapon. They did 3 releases of that same figure, but mine is the second release.
I'm gonna say this right now, but Brotherly Bear needs to be on more of these episodes because he's definitely forcing us to talk about things, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean the question thing is a very unused pop-up on this thing.
I don't even know how to do that. Like, how do you even do that?
Yeah, sword. So was sword first or axe was second? Then there's like a spiked stick or thing. I don't have his weapon on him in the thing, but he's in there. He's right there. You can see him. He's right next to Chewbacca and Wonder Woman.
Right where he belongs.
Right where he belongs. Oh yeah, mace. Yeah, sword, axe, and mace. Yeah, I got the second one. I remember because I walked right into a fucking Target one morning and boom, there it was. It was like, boop, grab, and left. Haven't seen any since. Never saw it again. Never saw any since at any other Targets. So I got lucky that day. But like, you know, as well as like I was in Target like last week and I saw the Halloween 3-pack. I saw the They Live Roddy Piper clothing figure. I seen a lot of NECA stuff, but like I ended up with that dumbass Creepshow figure, which I don't like. But like I
would never have bought that.
Buying the Halloween 3 is like the box is really cool and the little pumpkins and well the little TV is the coolest.
Yeah, you should have bought that.
But like
you should have bought.
But I don't want 3 little clothed children. Like
I do.
Well, go buy it. It's fucking everywhere.
I do.
Anyway, we gotta wrap this up because we've been on for way too long.
Yeah, we've been going for a minute here.
I gotta go eat. I'm not eating dinner. I'm starving. Before I go, I want to say I watched a movie last night. This is a warning for anybody. I watched a movie last night on Netflix called Red Dot. Don't watch that movie because it's stupid. It's fucking hot garbage. Swedish hot garbage. Don't watch it. I did not like it. I also finished The Head on HBO Max. Enjoyed that show. It's a whodunit in the Arctic. The best part is when they're watching the thing in the beginning, which is pretty funny because it's like a whodunit kind of thing. They're watching the thing.
Nice.
But I will tell you about The Head is that in episode 2, I looked over at Rosina and basically was like, I think there's 7 or 8 episodes. No, there's 6 episodes. The miniseries. Episode 2, I look over and I go, this is what I think is going on. This is who I think who did it. This is what I was completely right about fucking everything. I watched the entire.
I saw your shit earlier yesterday where you were like, I figured out an episode 2, and I was like,
I don't want to be one of those guys.
I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to be like the guy who's like, I knew that was going to happen in that Shyamalan movie the whole time, because I find that really very annoying. But like, I literally told her like out loud, I was like, oh, she's probably doing this because of this, and oh, you see what that person said. I figured that shit out right fucking way, and then I sat through like 4 more episodes of them slowly getting to it, and then I was completely right. There wasn't one thing I was fucking wrong about, which is amazing.
Nice.
But very enjoyable. I don't know what country that is. It's in English, but it's not a Western production. Enjoyable if you like whodunit murder mysteries. I say to still watch it for sure. And then we're still getting 30 coins.
I think I'm gonna watch White Tiger soon.
Oh, so good. White Tiger is so good.
And then, like I told you the other night, I think I'm gonna try and get Lynn to restart The Expanse with me.
Expanse season 5. Jesus Christ, one of the best seasons of anything I've ever watched. Season 5. It was right because like season 2 and 3 are really good. 4 I thought was kind of just like I thought they were kind of slowing down, but 5, so good. One of the best things I've ever watched. We're still
Well, that's what
getting
I'm
through
after.
that Spanish show. I don't know if you tried your hand at 30 Coins on HBO Max.
I have not.
We've watched, I think, 3 episodes of it. It is wildly entertaining because it's like a Exorcist horror show, but also feels heavily like a Spanish soap opera, where like everyone.
Well, I
like,
just finished reading The Exorcist like 2 days ago.
who reads?
I do constantly.
You know what I read? The Bible. That's it. Good night.
That might be the most outlandish thing I've ever heard you say.
Rolly Bear says, "Thanks for chilling, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night and morning." Yeah. Peace out to you, bro.
Well, thanks, man.
Enjoy the Valentine.
Definitely appreciate you fucking checking us out and asking us questions. That was super fun.
Yeah, should go. I'm gonna eat some chow mein. And then
That sounds good.
I'm also on season 5 of Letterkenny. Still not laughing at the show.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm still season 4 in it, and I haven't touched it in a while.
I just watch it and go.
Oh, I watched Possessor.
Oh yeah, you texted me that. On the bright side, Sean Bean's in another movie where he dies.
Right?
This fucking guy.
Well, he doesn't technically die in that.
What?
Yeah, they say that he's actually still alive.
What? Really? God.
Yeah.
I watched it really late at night.
He doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the fucking movie, but they say that he's in like super critical condition.
Oh, okay. Well, he's on season 2 of Snowpiercer, which I'm watching right now, so I'm just keep waiting for him to die.
Nice.
Because I was like, that's what he does.
I did turn on National Treasure the other day, and I ended up falling asleep while it was on, but I know Lynn likes it, so I left it on, and then I got up during that first one, and I went to bed, like actually like got off the couch and I went to bed, and then I came out and she was watching the second one. But yeah, he definitely dies in the first one. So
he dies in the lot. That's his thing.
Goddamn Sean Bean fucking dies and everything.
I think that's like pretty much all we've been watching. 30 Coins, The Head, which I finished last night. We binged through The Head last night. We watched all of it. I still haven't gotten to Judas and the Black Messiah, which I think we'll probably watch Sunday night.
I'm going to watch that tomorrow.
You're going to watch it Sunday night. Is tomorrow Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow.
Technically, for me, today is Sunday.
Yeah, okay, nobody cares. Okay.
It's almost 1 o'clock.
Okay, nobody cares, okay?
Right?
Did you ever watch Fargo, the show?
Yeah. I didn't watch all of it, but I got through like the first 2 seasons and it's super fucking good.
The last one was great.
Yeah, I know. I need to get back into that.
I think I'm gonna go. I really think I'm gonna go back and watch the first season of True Detective. It's been going viral a lot lately. A lot of the pictures and quotes from the show, and I kind of miss those characters. So I really wish there was an extension of those characters in the show.
Oh yeah.
Like I get why they want to keep doing different detectives and stuff, but like, just bring those 2 guys back, man, and let me watch that shit happen again. All
right, so I brought up Possessor, and Caitlin was talking about Letterkenny again in her comment here, but the character of I actually think her name is Caitlin, the girl that is trying to like hook up with the guy that the main character's in when she's trying to do her thing. She is actually in Letterkenny. She's the Native American girl.
Tannis?
Yeah.
I don't like Tannis. Not my cup of tea.
I don't know. I like her character.
And
I
the
think
other
she's
day, I
fun.
was like, I was in a very serious relationship with a girl from Canada, and she was neither dry nor funny. So I want to throw that out there. Her humor was not dry, and she was also not funny.
Oh, I thought you meant dry in a Ben Shapiro way.
Oh no, no comments.
Oh no.
No comments there, my guy.
Fair enough.
Let's go. Let's wrap it up. Everybody who came on, thanks for hanging out. We're going to go. This has been a very informative and real episode of Nerdicide where we really talked about the real issues going on. Next time, we'll try to talk about more fun things. It doesn't involve predators of any kind, unless it's the predator.
Unless it's the movie Predator.
Yeah.
Or the movie Predators.
Or Predator 2 or Alien vs. Predator.
Which I watched yesterday. Alien vs. Predator. And that movie's way better than I remember it being.
What does it say about you?
Well, the bad thing about it is the Predator makeup. But
I saw that shit's in the theater and
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I've been listening to In Voorhees We Trust, and they're doing an Alien series. So I've been watching all the Alien movies in order. And Friday they put out the AVP episode. So I watched it today after listening to that episode, and they were right. It's way more entertaining than I remember it being, but it's not great. There's definitely a bazillion flaws to it, but it is. There's certain aspects of it that are actually pretty good. So the fact that they didn't have to pay like millions of dollars to faces being in that movie, like you literally have nobody but Lance Henriksen that's fucking notable. So you have all this money to dump into FX and CGI and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
I will never watch that movie again. So
I don't blame you. It's not great.
let's go.
All right, dude. Love you to death.
Love you. Everyone.
I enjoy your mustache.
It'll be gone soon, tomorrow.
I'm mad about that. It should always be there. No, your mustache looks good. It should always be there.
Yeah, I'm more of a 5 o'clock shadow kind of guy.
Yuck.
Handsome, brooding. This is more.
Your mustache says I'm distinguished, and I know
what
what I want.
Up against
Sorry,
the
I
wall
couldn't do
and
that with
spread 'em.
face.
Says, is your daughter home?
Yuck.
Yeah, that's what it says. It's gone tomorrow because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I have planned.
Do me a favor. John Waters it. I want pencil line right above the top lip.
The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Hitler it.
Don't. No.
It's like this.
No. See, you've already done it, so now you got to pencil line it for me.
You
I'd
are
like to say
dictating
this
my heart.
about that.
Don't you remember Hitler from all of his speeches with the finger?
Remember when he just waved his finger around?
The Jews, the Jews.
he had all these important points that he fucking made while he was waving his finger around.
That's what mustaches lead you to.
Pencil line it, send me a picture, and then get rid of it, I suppose.
It's going to be real fast. You're up tomorrow. Gone.
Yeah, pencil line. Gone.
Just Photoshop me in the picture. Same thing.
I don't want to do that.
Anyways, this went way
Sounds like
longer.
work.
We're about to cut off for a 3-hour mark, which is
All right. Love you, dude.
ridiculous. All right. We'll see y'all when we see y'all. Thanks for everybody hanging out. It's been really fun talking about stuff. Next time, I have no idea. We'll see.
Yeah, I have no idea. It
knows?
sounds like we're about to be like real fucking dumb when I get back, so
Who knows where the wind will take us?
probably Justin and some guests. That's where we'll be.
Justin and some guests, my favorite band. All right. Later,
Love
dude.
you, dude.
It's been real.